everyone, and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm going to be talking about the future of Wings of Fire and some of my personal ideas, opinions, and what I think TUI should definitely not do. So TUI T. Sutherland, if you're watching this video, please take into account some of my ideas and don't do some of the things I asked not to do. So my drawing for this week is of the 5 dragonettes I think should be the protagonists. I have reasons for each of them that I will explain in this video. In no particular order, here they are: Cliff, Auklet, Bumblebee, Dusky, and Peacemaker. So I really did have a lot of ideas for each of them and the challenges they could face, but first I'm going to go over some ideas that I really don't think should happen for the next arc. Number 1, don't introduce a new tribe. No new tribes, continents, creatures, maybe like a couple of, maybe one unicorn or something. But no, just don't introduce a whole new tribe of dragons. Because, number 1, it would rush things way too fast. It would be like how Arc 1 had 0 animus magic, then Arc 2 had animus magic. I mean, it mentioned animus magic a little bit, and during book 5 there was a little bit of animus magic, so it really helped things flow. But if it's Arcs 1 and 2, just Pyrea and just those 7 tribes, and then Arcs 3 and 4 both introduce a whole new tribe, I really just don't think that would work for Wings of Fire. Another thing that I don't think should happen is that, again, it would rush things way too fast, that the protagonists are the dragonettes, the children of earlier protagonists, such as Clay and Peril, Moon and Kibli, Tsunami and Riptide, Starflight and Fatespeaker. I really think that those would be amazing protagonists, but for later, because then we'd have to skip ahead a whole decade or something, more than a decade. Whereas this one, it can be the next year, which is about the same amount of time as in between Arcs 1 and 2. The end of book 5 and the beginning of book 6 is about a little less than a year. Now, some of my ideas. I really chose these dragonettes. Of course, there are other dragonettes that it could be, such as Mink. I feel like Mink would have been a good protagonist. She just didn't really fit in with this group. Because, we can't really have 3 royals in one group. That would kind of, make it seem like it would just be really annoying and different. Not really annoying. It would just be way too many royals in one group. Yeah, and there are a couple of other dragonettes. We could introduce new ones, how TUI did with Arc 2, how we had some old ones that we knew, such not Turtle, why am I saying Turtle? Kibli and Peril, we knew both of them before, but then they also brought out new ones like Winter and Moon and Turtle. So I feel so these are just the 5 ones that we know before that I think could work out really nicely, and how they are all, I really can't imagine them all being best friends at some point. And they all have some challenges that they could face. So first, for Cliff, I feel like I'm going to have a video on this next week. I haven't made it yet, but I have had a lot of notes and a lot of time to think about it. Soar, who's Peril and Sky's dad, is also Cliff's dad. I have a lot of reasons for that, and I really think that could be what he learns in his book. And maybe Auklet learns something about the royal family. Another thing I don't want to happen is Auklet being animus. Because it was we haven't had any for generations, except for Orca and Anemone and Turtle. I just don't want it to be Auklet too. And then for Peacemaker's thing, I've seen a lot of really good art stories and theories about Darkstalker's consciousness is still alive inside Peacemaker, and it reawakens and controls him from the inside. That would be really cool. And then Dusky and Bumblebee each learn something. Something like that would make really good challenges for each dragonette. Even though they're going to be younger than the ones before, I still think it would be really cool. So anyway, those are my ideas. These are all my personal opinions. Next week will be Soar is Cliff's dad theory video. Go watch that when it's available. I'm so sorry I did not release a video 2 weeks ago, and then last week's video I released yesterday because I was really busy all week and couldn't get it done. I really hope you like this video. Go visit my Redbubble. A link will be in the description as soon as I can figure out how to get it in there. My art from last week's video is already on there. The Ukraine Art for Peace in Ukraine Dragon. So go check it out, and I will see you next week.